Good day, fellas. I hope you are ready for your extra daily dose of skill. And today we are going to play with almighty Mitsu. Soon you are going to see the best of games whenever I was playing like a bloody champion out of this world and we made an extremely good score. But before that, I really want to make a review of the tank because I think I know exactly what to say about this vehicle and how this tank looks like overall, right? So I played quite some games, and to be completely honest with you, I heard pretty much mostly of the bad opinions about this tank, although I do not really think that this vehicle is such a big pile of poop. There's some bad things about this tank, undoubtedly. First of all, let's start everything from the armor, okay? Armor of this vehicle, what armor? I mean, everyone will shred you like hot knife through the butter and you are pretty much useless mother trucker. You cannot side scrap, you cannot do anything with it. Plus, on top of that, you have two humongous boob up front, so your gun depression is really sad. Pretty much you are getting the most of the gun depression on the back and on the rear, right? This is the most important thing to say. But the tank itself isn't bad by any shape or any form. What do I mean by saying this? Pay attention to this beautiful gun. You have 300 alpha damage, 130 millimeters of penetration, and 800 shell velocity. That is not bad whatsoever for a tier 5 shitter. And I truly mean it, fellas. The speed-wise, 35 kilometers per hour. The armor-wise, but the biggest highlight of this tank is gun. And also, if it happened to be that you are against the tier 6s or tier 7s, you either do not have armor, you know? You are either slow, but you still have a gun. And this gun is definitely a highlight, and I really want to demonstrate that to you. On average, with this tank, I'm playing for 2000 combined score, at least over the games I played. And if we are going to have a great session, there is a chance we are going to get the third mark of excellence on this tank, right? This is how the things are looking like. And in fact, I would say this tank is quite a big challenger for the same cover 1 skill. I do not believe you. I mean, I truly mean it. If you are going to high roll, cover 2 is going to go down after 2 hits, which is absolutely glorious and it is absolutely amazing. All you need to do, you need to be smart how you are approaching the enemy forces and how are you playing the game, right? You do not want to play, you do not want to be too aggressive with it because the DPM is not ideal and the DPM is just simply far away from being excellent. And that is okay. You cannot have it all, you know? You just simply cannot have it all. But as you can see, mistakes from the enemy side will be met with a big smile on our face. Damage is, you are getting so much damage with this tank, it's literally crazy, fellas. And I truly mean it, right? As an example, in this situation, we are using the Mr. Chiha, who is playing up front, and we are just slapping enemies like there is no tomorrow. And this is exactly how we want to play the game, fellas. This is exactly how we want to play the game. Now, since we can see that no one is playing here up front, what we can do, we can try to craft a bit different angle, and we are crafting it, and we are slapping others for 300. Unfortunately, I missed the shot, which happens, it's okay. Better luck next time. We are going to repeat the same process over there, right? 180 hit points, not a problem. See you never, you know? Indeed, see you never. What a dick commander this is, fellas. Screaming and screaming, talking absolute nonsense, right? Beautiful, very nice, right? And this is once again the main selling point of this vehicle, fellas. I truly want to highlight this, that I noticed that a lot of people are just simply saying that this tank is worth absolutely nothing, and I just do not really think so. I think the tank is worth significantly more than nothing. And look at this, in no time whatsoever we crafted 1.7 thousand damage like there is no tomorrow. Oh, like this, while spanking our fingers, right? And this is absolutely glorious. So once again, what do you need to keep in mind whenever you are playing with a tank like this? You have only gun. So what you need to do your best in order to use the gun properly, and everything is going to be alright. If you will use the gun properly, if you are going to aim your shots, if you will try to do the smart trades, you are going to have the best time ever. If it happened to be that, you know, you are going to go through the middle of the field and you are going to take one for the team, well, in this type of situation, no one can save you, you know? That sounds like your problem. At least this is how I look into all of this. Good. 6 seconds left. We are going to go once again. Unfortunately, he might fix his track, but I'm going to go for it anyways, because you never know when you hit shots like this. And at the moment, all we are doing, we are just simply making pressure. Plus, let's get real. The tier 5 gameplay is a bit of the kindergarten of the world of tanks, right? Most of the players in the tier 5, they do not know what they are doing, and there is nothing bad about it. It's not to shit talk the newer players in the game or players who are playing with the lower tiers. The main point being is just to highlight that not everyone knows how to play the game in the tier 5, and you can use this to your advantage with a humongous smile on your face, you know? And this is great, fellas. This is absolutely glorious. We have 2000 raw damage, and there is still plenty of the stuff for us to do in this game. As an example, there is a full hit points cover 1, and we are going to say hello. What I'm hoping for, I'm hoping that this guy doesn't have the derp gun, but obviously the time will show absolutely everything. Right? We know that he's sitting here. I will try to track this gentleman just like so. Cover 1 is tracked, and overall he's feeling a bit useless here, which is completely fine, and you know, not much what he can change about this, and we are going to keep tracking this guy and farming the assisting damage. Beautiful, fellas. You can say whatever you want. This is absolutely glorious, and this is a tier 5 game. I would even go as far as to say this tank is very, very, very similar to the cover 1, maybe to the certain extent better, because gun handling definitely feels easier to use than the cover 1 derp gun, right? All you need to do, you need to be smart with your decisions. You do not want to, you want to trade with this tank. You want to do the smart trades. You do not want to go face to face and, you know, allow someone to slap you. No. You want to live somewhere around the corner, and you want to slap the enemies yourself in this way, right? And I'm not making this caco up. I truly mean it. Look, 2.9 thousand damage, 400 assisting damage. Beautiful. First by experience, first by the damage. And before we will go into the next game, I played with this tank like 56 games, and my average performance is 1.7 thousand damage and 300 assisting damage, which is very, very, very good, fellas. At least for me, this is a great score, right? And slowly but surely we are coming closer for marking the tank. Maybe not in this session, but maybe whenever I will stream, I will simply finish off this tank marks. Anyways, round number 2, let's go. Okay, beautiful. Studzanke standard battle. Very, very nice. So what do we want to do here? Once again, it happened to be that we are top tiers. That's great. Now, what is the biggest problem whenever you are playing with this tank? In my humble opinion, Arta is slapping this tank extremely, extremely hard, right? So you need to be smart how you are doing the things. In other words, you do not want to get caught off guard in the middle of the field, because Levhash will eat you alive, Bitch Gun will eat you alive, Bishop will eat you alive. You just simply want to stay somewhere Art is safe for obvious reasons, so you are not going to feel how your eyebrow is twitching, you know, and moving left, right, and center. That is important thing to say. Plus on top of that, I know that some people played with this vehicle. Levhash said hello for the tank destroyer, unfortunate. Plus on top of that, another thing which I want to highlight is this. I said this tank doesn't have armor. What I wanted to say? I forgot. Probably nothing important. It's fine. Let's see. Only trades, fellas. That's what we are looking for. We are looking for trades, right? Beautiful, very, very nice. Let's try to punish this guy. Unfortunately, we are failing, but it doesn't really change absolutely anything. Turbo. Some people are using turbo with this tank, and this is a very, very fair point, and you can use turbo with this vehicle, you know? You can definitely do that. Is it the best decision ever? I would rather have a view range on the lower tiers. The main reason being why I am looking for a view range in the lower tiers, because you cannot trust anyone to spot for you, right? Lower tiers are very, very specific, and since it is made up out of newer players in the game, right? It's just how it goes, and it's just how it works. Good. Very, very good. Now, once again, we are just trying to side scrap here around the corner, and we are trying to be as annoying as we physically and possibly can, right? Beautiful. Look what kind of traits we are doing with this tank, fellas. I truly mean that this tank feels very, very underrated vehicle, right? At least this is what is happening in my head. I do not really mind this T1 looking at me. I truly do not care. Even though if he would hit me again, I just do not mind, right? I just don't care. Another guy should be peeking here in a moment. It is completely alright. A kind of a pixel shot, to be fair with you, but I need to go for it, and unfortunately this is a bad trade by me. I'm not trading, I'm just taking one for the team. Which is a problem, right? We realize that this is not a great idea. Whoops. We realize that this is not a good idea, and now we need to figure out how to approach the enemies a bit in a different way, because that's me problem, right? I cannot complain about making a bad decisions myself. Or maybe I could blame the team, right? That is definitely a possibility, and that is definitely an option. It's a team fault, what? What? It's definitely a team fault. Meanwhile, this guy made a decision to be aggressive, and he's going to straight to the garage just because we can, and just because we have this beautiful alpha damage, fellas. I'm telling you, alpha is definitely a king of this tank, and alpha is definitely glorious, right? Now, another Mitsu. I know that this guy is sitting here and he is waiting until someone will peek. I am very, very well aware of that. I know, fellas, I know. Eventually his patience should expire, and eventually he should say, okay, I have a feeling that he will try to push in front. At least this is what we should see soon. Although before that, this cover one Sash should die. Okay, very, very good. Wait for it, fellas. We have all time in the world of tanks. Wait for it. Just patiently waiting around the corner until Mitsu will say, oh, I have hit points and I can try to make a bit of pressure. That's all we need for a full happiness, fellas. Come on, just mess up. And there is plenty of the sniper schnitzels overall, right? I believe I do not really need to highlight this, do I? Okay, beautiful. Now we know that he isn't paying attention at this lane. That being said, there is a tiny chance that I can play right there and just simply wait until he will peek like this, because he should eventually. He definitely should. And there is a big chance that he is not going to expect that someone is sitting right there and waiting for him, right? I am prepared to push in front just in case. Come on, big boy, make a mistake. Just make a mistake. You got this. I'm kind of thinking about going for him. Okay, he just fired and he died. Okay. Let's go like this. Once again, I want to believe that he is not going to expect anyone waiting for him here. That's what I want to believe. Boom. Ay, what a bad shot by me. Not happy about my decision, but that's what we have and I cannot complain about this. Good. Now, this is a different problem, because he knows that someone is sitting here, so he's going to try to peek again. But once again, we are going to be prepared. Meanwhile, enemy art, not exactly what I am looking for, but that's what we have, and I want to escape from here, because this art might simply burst this position, and then we are going to have a humongous problem. Meanwhile, our Su is looking into the game like he would be professional mother trucker. Holy bananas, fellas. Look at this competitive spirit. Skill, are you making fun of him? Yes. You got me. But still, you know, sometimes to highlight things like this, it is important, and do not be that guy, fellas. Just do not be that guy. Not everyone is professional World of Tanks player, fellas. Not everyone knows how to play the game well, and not everyone can do that. And there is nothing bad about this. Meanwhile, this is the curse of the lower tier matchmaking. Those artas are disgusting. Like, properly disgusting, fellas. Truly. This is like a plague of this matchmaking. That being said, we are going to think how to approach the enemies, but in a bit different way, right? I would love to eliminate this Mitsu, and I believe there is a chance that I will. All I need to do, I need to craft a bit different position. That's what I need for a full happiness. Unfortunately, I'm spotted, but that's okay. Good, maybe we are going to get assisting damage from him, and indeed we do have the assisting damage from this gentleman. Meanwhile, there is a sniper schnitzel who is sniping from this typical bush over there, so we are going to try to go for a blind shot ourselves, right? Very, very good. Let's try to do that again, just to let our team know that there is a guy sitting somewhere in this bush. Once again, nothing to worry about, and we just need to survive as long as we physically and possibly can with our tin can body, right? Because once again, the armor of this tank is far away from being ideal. Trying to pre-aim the shot, that was a bad pre-aim from my side. Obviously, I cannot complain for pre-aiming badly, since it is my fault, and that is okay. Meanwhile, I want to go a bit more towards the red line here, and once again I'm aware of the artas, fellas. Oh, believe me, those artas are absolutely disgusting. They are raining like it would be a rainy season somewhere in Maldives, right? It's just no bueno. Meanwhile, we are taking our time to aim our shot, and now we are slapping this guy out of his tank. Beautiful. Very, 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 very nice, fellas. Very nice. Enemy Mitsu is being extremely smart as well. He's not making silly goose mistakes. He is trying to play smart, and he is doing the right things, at least in my humble opinion over there. Meanwhile, our Su is trying to make as much pressure through the middle of the field, which is actually a very, very legit strategy, and it is not bad whatsoever what he is doing here. That is alright. Now we have more than 50% chance to eliminate Mitsu from the game from the one shot, and I would love to see this happening, right? That would be absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, I missed the shot, which is kind of unfortunate, but what can you do? And now we are going to figure out how we're supposed to slap the living crap out of this guy. He's thinking about being aggressive, but unfortunately for him, his aggression is not paying off. That's very, very good. And now all we need to do, we need to try to make a bit of the pressure for the Mr. Bishop, right? So we can eliminate this bastard who was raining on us for 3 days, 3 nights, which, let's get real, wasn't the most enjoyable experience. And once again, this is what this tank is capable of doing, fellas. This is a very, very, very solid tank in the World of Tanks. As a tier 5, once again, as a tier 5, this tank is able of doing plenty of the bad things for the enemies. And, you know, there is a good saying, don't bash it until you are going to test it out, right? And by looking into this tank, I thought it is going to be a pile of kaku, you know? I thought it is going to be pretty much impossible to do anything because of the shape, because of the stuff and whatnot. And in reality, fellas, as you can see, it just simply works. All you need to do, you need to use your head, and everything is going to be completely fine. Meanwhile, There is still one guy alive, and obviously I would love to eliminate him from the game, but at the moment I am just simply going to wait. Maybe we are going to have a decent enough angle. If we are not going to have a decent enough angle, this is, you know, it sounds like our problem, if you know what I mean. What a beautiful tank this is. For a tier 5, fellas, I still haven't rated this tank, and I was thinking what kind of rating am I going to give for this vehicle, and more I think, more I want to go towards the good rating. It may not be epic, you know, but it is, I think this tank is deserving the solid rating as 4, you know. That would translate for tank being good. In fact, if we would take a look into the index page, I'm curious how people rated this vehicle so far. Tier 5 heavy tank, Japan, and people rated this vehicle for 2.7, right? That is quite crazy, because I think this tank is very, very, very nice overall. But hey, this is the rating from your side, fellas. Meanwhile, we are going to say thank you for this gentleman. And fellas, one thing what I really want to highlight: do not be like this little mother trucker, right? He might know what he is doing. He might play lower tiers or higher tiers, doesn't really matter, right? But the most important thing is don't bash the new players in the game. Not everyone is professional player. Not everyone knows what he is doing, and there is nothing wrong about it, because without new players, without bad players, without inexperienced players, there wouldn't be good players, you know? You get the point what I'm saying. So yeah, please keep this in mind. Anyway, second game was good as well. I am happy about this. Let's go for one more. Okay, beautiful. Erlenberg Assault. Now, what is the hardest part of all of this, and what is the hardest journey for us in this game? Well, I believe I do not really need to highlight that we are playing as a bottom tier, so we are playing against the tier 7s. This is going to be quite a hard journey and quite a situation, but we are not going to shit our pants, we are not going to cry too much, and we are going to be fine. I'm not going to be aggressive by any shape or any form. I am going to take the safe defense parameter. I think this is the proper play, and in fact I'm not going to even do that yet. I'm going to wait until enemies will, oh, they started making pressure, someone is spotting him from here, beautiful. Okay, that is great. You might think, but skill, how is it great that your team is getting slapped like there is no tomorrow? Well, the thing is, it's great for one particular reason, because we are going to be able to fight back, right? And we can clearly see that some mother trucker is sitting somewhere nearby in the bushes. Oh my bananas, where the flying F are you? Oh, look at this. Oh, that is brave. Where is he? Wait a second, there is no lighting, so what do we have? We have Cromwell? Who's the bastard sitting somewhere nearby? I have a feeling that someone is sitting right there, okay? This is my prediction. Someone is sitting in this bush, and this is the main reason why our team is taking one for the team. So let's go for a blind shot. I'm not getting spotted, that's fine. Look, this is the moment whenever we are just chilling and we are just relaxing, you know? We are waiting until enemies will get involved and until enemies will say, yeah, it's our time to shine. Let's try to make some pressure. I cannot hear you. Can you make some pressure? You know, this is what I'm waiting for, and that's what I want to see. Beautiful. Now, this is the position where we are going to play, okay? As you can see, I am using S first in this situation. Skill, I have a question why you are using S first. Well, as I showed before in the armor module of this vehicle, right, the S has more gun depression than front does. That being said, this is the proper play of this tank. I know it sounds weird that you need to use the opportunities like this and whatnot in order to get maximum use of all of this, but that is the proper play and that's what we need, right? Beautiful. VK is going through the middle. I am not too paranoid and I'm not too afraid of this. Let's try to punish this IKEA. Good, good, good. And once again, Fellas, please pay attention what we are doing right here. We are just slapping those bastards in the face, right? We are trying to spot for our team like there is no tomorrow, and we are just slapping. Slap, 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 slap. You know, nothing too crazy, nothing unusual, just slapping with a big smile. Beautiful, using the camo mechanics like there is no tomorrow. Spotting the guys pushing through the middle of the field and just making sure that they will hate their life. This is what we need, and this is how we want to play this game. Meanwhile, Mr. Cromwell is going through the middle of the field, and we should be able to slap him. Beautiful. Once again, look at this, fellas. We are just using the tank properly, and we are making sure that enemies will regret their life choices. Very nice. Now we need Dicker Max to slap this guy in the face. That's the most important part of this battle. Beautiful. Very, very nice. We are just trying to be annoying, fellas. This is our point of this game, just being annoying. Tier 5 is trying to get involved. Beautiful, slapping him in the face. Now, Dicker Max is eliminating him. Very, very good. Repeating the same thing all over again. Just being annoying and just making sure that enemies will hate their life choices over there. Beautiful. Now this guy might go for us, and that is okay. He slid in the water, and now we are having a great time. We are using auto-aim, and we are eliminating him from the game. We know that Arta is shooting us. It doesn't really change absolutely anything because we are using the tank properly. That's what I'm saying. And it doesn't matter that this tank doesn't have the best armor in the world of tanks. We do not care. If enemies cannot shoot us, we are feeling very, very, very well with all of this. And beautiful. Look at this nice game, and looks like we secured the third mark of excellence. Fellas, you know, sometimes I can tell you one thing. Sometimes some tanks are very complicated. It's the same situation like you would try to use the hammer to fix your monitor. It doesn't work this way. You need to have a tools, and you need to have a knowledge, right? And in this situation with this tank, this is you just need to understand how to play with a tank, and if you will, you are going to have the best time ever. Let's see the score, shall we? Beautiful time. And we are back, fellas. Luckily with a victory, I think we realized everything in time. I think we made the things work properly, and I think that was a perfection where the session can go. This is why I do not rush to raid the tanks instantly whenever they are coming out. It's taking some time, especially whenever I just came back from vacations and I was rusty, you know? Now I am feeling like I'm 100% back and I am ready to fight. Meanwhile, 2.5 thousand damage, 600 assisting damage, third mark of excellence, yip yip hooray, 9,000 profits as well, beautiful. And overall, where the session goes with this vehicle, we played for 2.3 thousand average damage and 800 assisting damage. Fellas, this is pretty much perfection with Mitsu. If you have someone who is struggling with this tank, just send the video, and hopefully that will explain everything, how to play with the tank and how the tank feels like overall. Anyways, that's what I have for you today, fellas. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope you had a great time, and best of Mitsu is coming soon. Thank you very much, and see you soon. Skill is out. Peace.